Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for tuning in to Cullman Today. I'm your host, Cheyenne Sharp, and today is Tuesday, October 1st. We have a lot to look at in local news today, including information on an incident involving Cullman Police Department, Vinemont High School's prayer circle, and registration for the Christ-Kindle-Mart Parade. All this plus sports, weather, and more. But for now, let's dive into the top stories happening in Cullman today. Yesterday morning, the Cullman Police Department responded to a report from CSX about a vehicle trespassing on the railroad tracks at Mitchell Road. Upon arrival, officers made contact with the vehicle, which then rammed a patrol car, leading to a standoff. Despite efforts to negotiate a peaceful surrender, the suspect continued to ram police vehicles. CPD deployed stinger spikes, deflating the suspect's tires. The suspect then backed onto Ingram Farms property, where officers executed a pit maneuver to safely bring the vehicle to a stop and take the suspect into custody. Police Chief Joey Duncan commended CPD officers for their teamwork and swift action, stating, "Our officers' quick response and professional handling of this dangerous situation prevented what could have been a much worse outcome." The incident is under investigation, and CPD remains committed to ensuring public safety while addressing sensitive situations with appropriate care and professionalism. Next up, students at Vinemont High School, Vinemont Middle School, and Vinemont Elementary School came together to pray for one of their own, Walker Smithson, Monday morning before classes began. Walker is a 16-year-old student at Vinemont who was diagnosed with B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia 2 years ago in 2022. His health over the last month has been declining, and recently he suffered a major seizure and was admitted to an ICU. To finish out our top stories, Alabama Mountains, Rivers, Valleys, Resource Conservation and Development gathered with State Senator Garland Gudger, Cullman County elected officials, local leaders, and local area grantees to announce $50,000 in grant funding for Cullman County area projects. The organizations completing projects and receiving grant funds in the 2024 cycle include the Cullman County 4-H, Liberty Learning Foundation, the Foundry Ministries, Cullman County Commission, Hanceville Library, Cullman County Master Gardeners, Holly Pond Schools, and Hanceville Elementary School. The funds are appropriated to AMRV by the Alabama State Legislature and the Cullman County Legislative Delegation to help empower local organizations and strengthen local communities. Senator Gudger stated he's always glad to see state money come back to local organizations, and it's always rewarding to see it spent on worthwhile local projects. Now that we have the top stories out of the way, we're going to take a quick break before returning with sports. Hello and welcome back. Now it's time to find out what's going on in the world of sports. Let's lead off today's sports segment with a recap of the 3 wins earned by our local teams on Friday night. The Cullman Bearcats returned home to Oliver Woodard Stadium for a cool, windy matchup against Brewer Friday night, and the Cats bounced back from last week's loss with a dominant 35-0 performance against the Patriots. The Bearcats improved to a 3-3 with the win, and they'll be back home this week to host their rivals from Hartselle. Addison traveled to James W. Shable Stadium to take on Good Hope, and the Raiders remain unbeaten with an impressive 27-0 victory. Addison will travel to Waterloo for another region game Friday night, and Good Hope will head to Curry to take on the Yellow Jackets. Vinemont traveled to take on West End Patriots on a soggy and misty night in Etowah County. The Eagles got off to a fast start to build an early lead and never looked back as they came away with a 36-6 victory over the Pats. Vinemont improved with a 5-1 with the win, and the Eagles will be back home Friday to take on Hanceville. After a dramatic 41-34 win over Georgia Saturday night, Alabama's Jaden Milroe was named the SEC Offensive Player of the Week, and Ryan Williams earned Freshman of the Week honors. Milroe earned the recognition after his performance on the national stage against the second-ranked Bulldogs at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Milroe accounted for a career-best 491 total yards and 4 touchdowns in the win, throwing for a career-high 374 yards on 27 of 33 passing. He added 117 rushing yards and a pair of touchdowns on the ground as well. This is the second SEC Player of the Week honor for Milroe this season and fifth of his collegiate career. Williams was dubbed SEC Freshman of the Week for the second time this season after leading the Crimson Tide's receivers once again. He recorded a career-high 177 yards and a touchdown and made numerous critical catches, highlighted by his game-winning 75-yard score. That covers sports for today, but make sure to check with the Cullman Tribune each day for the latest in sports coverage from across the area. We'll be back after this message. Hello and welcome back to Cullman Today. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. The Good Hope Middle School football team has secured a spot in the playoffs, and its quarterback club could use a sponsor for the players' pre-game meal before the game on Monday, October 7th. If you or someone you know would like to buy a pre-game meal for the players, let the Good Hope Quarterback Club know through Facebook or through a member. Registration for the Cullman Cross-Kendall Mart Parade, formerly Christmas in Cullman Parade, is now open. Registration for the parade is free and open to any team, business, organization, or group. If you'd like to compete for the best awards to win cash prizes, there's a $10 registration fee. Prizes are Most Creative, Best Spirit, Best Characters, Best Vehicles. Each of these winners will walk away from the parade with a $500 prize. Best Marching Band will win $1,000 and Best Overall will win a massive $2,500 payout. To register, head to CullmanCrossKendallMart.com. If you live in Cullman County and have been associated in any way with Cullman County DHR, Cullman County Schools, or local youth and high school sports, chances are that you've grown to know, love, and respect Christy Webb and her husband, Ed, known affectionately to most as Webb or Coach Webb. Through Christy's nearly 25 years of dedication to Cullman County DHR, she served countless families through her work in child welfare, recruited and licensed many foster homes for children who needed a safe place to live, and secured hundreds of forever families through adoption for Alabama's waiting foster children. Her husband, Coach Webb, has served as a teacher aide, educator, and coach with Vinemont and Hanceville schools, as well as a coach and mentor through youth sports in Cullman County. Now it's time for the community to give back to the Webbs who have given so much. Christy recently received news that no one ever wants to hear when she learned she would have to fight a battle with breast cancer, specifically triple-negative invasive ductal carcinoma. Their friends, family, and coworkers have committed to fighting this battle along them every step of the way. On October 25th, the Webbs will have a community full of support. To participate, donate any amount to the cause and wear as much pink as you can from head to toe. Your donation is greatly appreciated to help this family fight the devastating effects of cancer. Donate on PayPal at Mandy Maddox 14, Venmo at Mandy-Maddox-14, and Cash App Mandy Maddox. Yesterday, the congregation of First United Methodist Church packed 70 boxes to feed hungry individuals and families. That's a total of 15,120 meals that will fill some hungry bellies and fulfill a small part of Rise Against Hunger's movement to end world hunger. Rise Against Hunger works in countries worldwide to fight hunger, targeting communities facing high rates of food insecurity. They provide volunteer packaged meals through school feeding programs to support nutrition, education, and health for children and families facing hunger right now. It all starts with a meal. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be back after this quick message.
What's in the magazine? October's peeking in. Oktoberfest in Cullman, let the fun begin. Heroes in our town, business all around, recipes for sharing, joy everywhere found. Colonel Cullman cheers, history in our ears, community so bright, polka through the night. Sports spotlight today, Kids come out to play. Fields and courts are buzzing in the autumn sway. Germans came to stay, crafts and brews on display. Cullman's heart is glowing in the polka way. Colonel Cullman cheers, history in our ears, community so bright, polka through the night.
Welcome back. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who have lost their lives this week as we turn to obituaries. Richard Guy McClintock Jr. Richard Guy McClintock Jr., 41 of Cullman, passed away on Sunday, September 29th at the University of Alabama Hospital in Birmingham. Funeral service for Mr. McClintock will be at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, October 2nd at Desperation Church, with burial at Beech Grove Cemetery. Visitation will be from noon to 2 p.m. on Wednesday, October 2nd at Desperation Church. Sheila McAnally Garcia. Funeral services for Sheila McAnally Garcia, 47, will be at 11 a.m. Saturday, October 5th at Hanceville Funeral Home Chapel. Burial will follow the service at Garden City Cemetery. The family will welcome friends for visitation on Saturday at Hanceville Funeral Home from 10 to 11 a.m. That finishes up obituaries for today. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and families. Now, let's take a look at today's weather forecast. Today has a 40% chance of showers, mainly after 1 p.m. and some patchy fog before 9 a.m. Otherwise, partly sunny with a high near 81. Tonight currently has 30% chance of showers before 10 p.m., partly cloudy with a low of around 61. Tomorrow is set to be sunny with a high near 81, and tomorrow night shows patchy fog between midnight and 3 a.m., otherwise clear with a low of around 59. That concludes another edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. I'm Cheyenne Sharp with Cullman Today, wishing you a happy and safe Tuesday, Cullman.